I find it is fruitless to try to read Owen or Calvin or pulpit commentary or whatever and try to form truth. Now, I sometimes read these theologians to see did they know something that I can't find, and the unfortunate thing is normally I find that the real difficult questions, they didn't address either, because they didn't know either what to do with them, and that's fair that they would not address it, but they are not helpful. But finally, the only place to check Scripture is with the Scripture. That is what the Bible declares. Compare spiritual things with spiritual. And you keep working with the Scripture. It's a long, slow process at times. It's very disheartening at times because you don't know what to finally do with a verse. But it's the only way. The Bible is its own interpreter. Now, one of the limitations, I'll tell you another limitation. These Reformed scholars, they believed that when John wrote, they were writing from, he was writing from his personality, and the way he defined words were not necessarily the same as Matthew or the same as Paul. And so you can't really compare a word in Thessalonians, for example, with a word in John. And that immediately destroys any possibility of really coming to truth, because they did not understand that every word. In fact, I've been in a church about 70 years. I never heard a sermon preached on Jeremiah 36, which I would have loved to have known about, but I never did get to it, where God demonstrates how he gave us the Bible as he dictates word by word the book of Jeremiah to Jeremiah. And there God is telling us how the Bible was given us. Every word came from the mouth of God. And Calvin didn't understand that. Owen didn't understand that. And if they don't understand that, then how in the world are they ever going to come to ultimate truth? You can't. You cannot. You have to start with the fact that the whole Bible, word by word, in the original languages, came from the mouth of God. Therefore, you can learn the definition of a word in the way it's used in Matthew when it's also used in the book of James, and the Bible is therefore its own interpreter. And so we are, by God's mercy, it's not because we're better theologians or more brilliant. No way, no way. We happen to be living in this time. But we have the opportunity, knowing these fundamental principles that were not known or practiced back then, of learning way more accurately than they were ever able to.